Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Rabbi.
This week's parsha is Achrei Mois and Kedoshim, so we will try to stand on the pasuk on Parshas Kedoshim. The parsha starts off, Daber el Klal Das Bnei Yisrael, speak to all the congregants of the Jewish people, Martalem, and tell them, Kedoshim Tiyu, you should be holy, Ki Kadosh Ani Hashem Elikechem, for I am holy, the God your God. So, because Hashem is holy, therefore we should be holy. I mean, it's quite a comparison. Because I'm holy, so you should be holy. Because a lot of things Hashem does, we don't come close to it. We don't come close. So what's the comparison? So it's explained that since that I am holy, and I have given you the Torah and mitzvahs, so you have a place where to tap into the holiness. Therefore, you have the opportunity to be able to do that. Ki kadosh ani, for I am holy, even though I dwell above and below. And below is not exactly a holy place, but I still maintain my holiness. So too, you're in the world, you're also in the worldly matters. There's a lot of lies, there's a lot of things going on that's not exactly so kosher, but you have the power to maintain within this jungle the holiness of Hashem. Another thing is, Kedoshim, that you have to be able to do that not only in the holy places. A person would say, okay, you have Torah, you have a mitzvah. When I do the Torah, when I do the mitzvah, then I'm holy. But when I'm not doing Torah mitzvahs, when I'm doing everything like everybody else, when I'm driving my car like everybody else, when I'm eating my supper in my house like everybody else, so then I could do whatever I want, I'm like everybody else. And no. Kedoshim Tiyu, this is in a sense where the real commandment comes. Mitzvahs you have to do anyway. You're anyway different over there. The Kedusha is in the place where you may seem you're exactly the same. In the place where you're not separated, in the place that we eat the same way, we all dress the same way, we all have certain things that we do in our lifestyle on a physical level is the same. Over there, Kedoshim too, you have to do it in a holy way. When you eat food, you have to eat food with the proper intention. Not only you make a bracha before and after, you have to eat the food with the proper intention to know that I'm eating the food to be able to sustain myself, to be able to do what I need to do for Hashem. Not that I'm eating the food because I want to enjoy myself. I want to klaparai in another meal, like whatever it is. There's two different ways of doing it. I'm devouring the food, And there is one, that's one way of doing it. Then there is a way that the person is taking in within themselves that when they're eating, there is a service, there is a purpose to Hashem. They're able to do the same things that other people are doing. They're doing it in a whole other way. I remember hearing the story when I was a kid that really was a very, very inspiring story. My mother was telling me of somebody she knew that was telling her that when they went to buy a car, today you don't go to buy a car. Today you just sign a couple of papers and the car is given to you. But it used to be you had to actually buy a car. You had to go and get a mortgage, get a finance from the bank would give you an okay that you're buying the car. You still get today, but it's nothing in comparison to what it used to be. So buying a car was a much bigger deal. It was a much bigger thing. So they bought a car, they bought a station wagon, a couple, they bought a station wagon. And as they're leaving the place, they're driving in the brand new car, smells so good. And she tells her husband that we have to really do a mitzvah with the car. The first thing we have to do is do a mitzvah. We have a car. Not everybody has a car. Today everybody has a car. Back then not everybody had a car. So we have to do a mitzvah with the car. Let's try to find somebody who needs a ride and give them a ride. Kedushasi, there's a holiness that Hashem is giving us that He wants us to bestow it on us, and we should take that. You're having a car just like everybody else, but He wants to do a mitzvah with the car. They want to do a mitzvah car. They want to elevate. They want to bring in holiness. This is a whole different level. So this is something that we have to try to do. We have to try to infuse every part of our lives, even the parts that seem like it's just a regular mundane thing, specifically there, perhaps is more important than everywhere else because that's your touch. That's where you can do it. That's where the mitzvah is coming because everything else you have to do. You have to daven anyway. You have to eat, everything else has a commandment within itself. But within the mundane, the regular things that perhaps there is no commandment. You're just doing it because you're doing what you need to do. Over there, that's where the Kedusha lies. That's where the Kedusha is waiting for you. Hashem should help. We should be inspired. We should be able to find the Kedusha. We should be able to share the Kedusha. We should be zeicher to the day that the whole world will be with full revealed Kedusha with the coming of Mashiach Tzidkeinu. Amen.